morning, boys and girls. My name's Dan Gibble, and I'm the Executive Director at Sycamore Park District. It's Saturday, and I'm sitting at home talking to my wife about what we did with our kids when they were little, and we had to find something for them to do that was fun and recreational. So here's what I'm going to suggest. Talk to your parents about cooking something. Now, I'm going to do a simple recipe today of Pizza Witches, but you can do a brownie mix, even make a math issue out of it with things like measures and weights of items that go into the mix, or you can just have fun with it. But what I want you to know is that in a few days, the Park District's going to be posting a competition online for you to make something at home and enter it in for a prize from the Sycamore Park District. We want you to have fun during these times when we're having to be at home when we wouldn't normally, and so we hope you'll take advantage of this situation and cook something fun, of course using your parents as supervisors and giving you permission. So before I get started, you can choose to, under your parents' guidance, to consider wearing a mask or gloves if you want. I've already washed my hands thoroughly following the guidelines that are provided by the Center for Disease Control. So I'm all ready to go here, and I'm skipping those steps, but you shouldn't before you start cooking. So to make a simple Pizza Witch, some people use bread. With our kids we use bread, but we often used English muffins. So that's what I've got here. And all you need is some basic jarred spaghetti sauce, or you can use your homemade spaghetti sauce if your mom or dad or you is that great. And you just put a thin layer of sauce onto each of the halves of the English muffin. You don't want too much, otherwise when it cooks or when you try to eat it, it'll spill out all over the place. So I just spread a little thin amount, and when my kids were little, they're all in their 20s and 30s now, I would let them do these steps themselves. But you do this and put that thin layer on. I forgot to mention that you preheat your oven to 350 degrees. I apologize, I left that out of the steps. And then you can use any cheese you want. What I've got here is a sliced version. This is provolone. You can lay that right on there. Or you can have shredded mozzarella. Again, whatever kind of cheese you want, you can put it on top of that sauce and put the cheese on next. And then I always let our girls use spices if they wanted to. And sometimes they learned a lesson when they used too much. But I didn't give them measures. I let them experiment. And so I've got some oregano leaves here and garlic powder. Other people use parsley or red pepper if they like things spicy. Just work with your parents and decide what you want to put on it. But my favorites are a little oregano and a little garlic powder, just to give it a little bit different flavor than just the regular spaghetti sauce that you're using. So you sprinkle that on, and then you're ready to put it in the oven. So the next step would be to make sure your oven is preheated, and once it is, then you can take your tray. I've got a cookie sheet with aluminum foil on it, and put it into the oven. And I usually say check it after about 7 minutes. And so I set the timer to 7 minutes. And then if it needs to go a little bit longer, you just keep your eye on it until it's ready. Part of the fun is waiting for and anticipating that yummy Pizza Witch when you're all done. All right, so it's been about 8.5 minutes. I set the timer for 7 minutes, you'll remember, and checked them. But I like the cheese to be bubbling or golden brown before I take these out. So I've added it about another 1.5 minutes. You need to work with your parents to make sure you keep an eye on it and be ready to take it out when it's cooked to the point where you're comfortable with it. The fun part about this, and this is recreation, you can do this at home and have fun. The fun part about cooking or baking is you eventually get to eat what it is that you've made. And so try to make this a fun activity and make sure you're safe. Now before we came back, I washed my hands again, so I'm ready to go here. You can hear the timers going off. So I'm going to take these out, and boy am I looking forward to eating these after I'm done talking to you. But you can see on the one with the whole piece of cheese, it's bubbling around the edge, and the other one is starting to get a little bit golden brown. So I'm going to let these cool for just a minute or two before I handle them. And you notice I took them out of the oven with some hot pads so I don't burn myself. So always be safe. Always let your parents or whoever's supervising you, an adult, help you with this and make sure you're doing everything properly and safely. Thanks for listening. Remember, in a few days, the Park District's going to post on its Facebook page and on its website some rules for you kids to do your own cooking at home and enter one of your favorite recipes for a chance to win some Park District prizes. So have fun with cooking while you're at home, and take care and stay healthy. Thanks from the Sycamore Park District.